Hello everyone, I am in a different location and I'm back. I was supposed to do a video regarding the Q&A that I was supposed to do not too long ago, and that is on the back burner, to be honest. Basically there's a lot that goes into it, and you know, basically, long story short, I've not gotten all the questions that I need. So it's a bit of a struggle when you got no questions. So I'll ask again. But by today's title, I am doing a video with a broken finger, but new set. I'm doing a video on a story time about actually proactively, which many people would be happy about, telling a guy that I am transgender before the date, basically. So I was doing it mainly I've done it before. It's not like the first time I've ever done it, but it's been a while since I did it. So for banter for this video and to see what the crack is after not doing it for quite some time. So I decided to tell this guy I was speaking to for like a couple of days that I'm trans before we embarked on our date. And with this particular gentleman, there was a language barrier, but he was fit. But there was a slight language barrier. So at first he didn't know what the hell I was talking about, but then I explained it to him, and then in layman's terms, he was just like, wait, so you were a man? I like, what? But then I did like a mini schooling education on trans and my life story in a nutshell, without being too dramatic or long about it. So I did that. He was fine, but he's admittedly a fuckboy, and yeah, we had a lovely date. I will just say the whole experience overall, minus what I'm about to talk about, was lovely, was nice. Typically what happens anyway with like the men that take me out anyway, of like being treated well in a princessy kind of way, where chivalry I like and sexual appealingness. So yeah, trail of thought. So going into it, because of like the language barrier, he was like, before like meeting me, he was just like trying to like really figure out, because he's only seen me in like picture or video form, because I did promote myself. I was like, go look at my YouTube, go look at this, because he wanted to see me animated and not just through picture form. So he saw my videos and everything, and he was like, yeah, cool. But I do want to like see if you are who you are, like in person, and like not just have like set up like a date and then, especially because of the language barrier, a bloke turns up who's catfished him, on top of like catfishing being a thing. So I understood what he was trying to say, but I was like, broski, like this can be kind of rude and you can say it in a better way. So I educated him yet again, and I was like, no, I am who I am, blah, blah, blah. But this has never happened with other people. I think it's mainly like due to the language barrier and not really understanding the queer community. Whereas like where I've done it a handful of times to other men of saying I am trans before the date, they've never asked to like see me briefly or see me like quickly on FaceTime and stuff like that, just to like really understand that I am who they're talking to. Most men are just like, yeah, because they're like, educated is not the right word, but it is, the proof is in the pudding. It's because of like the cultural and language barrier, which is why he said some obscure things. But he wasn't necessarily hurtful or offensive. But whilst we were on the date, beginning the date, and him like scanning me up and down, he was just like, hi, and, well, not as girly as I say it, but he was like, hello, how are you, hugging me and everything, and him being a 6-something up there. I was just like, oh, my neck. But yeah, like, that's bad. But yes, so he takes me out and we have a jolly time. But once we get to the restaurant, I was wearing my fluffy jacket, and I take it off, and he looks at me and scans me, and he's like, but he smiles and everything. And then I tell him to like sit across me and like talk to me because he wanted to sit by me, which I've had recently actually on a date where somebody wanted to sit next to me, and I was like, that's weird, sit across me so we can swap. So he says yes, like he just like randomly brings this into conversation. You are right, Seana, you do look like a girl, you are blah 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 blah, very pretty, very beautiful, I do find you attractive, but the only thing I would say is that you've got arm hair. You've got arm hair. That's very manly, and that's not what I like in girls. I like them to be clean shaven, basically a sphinx cat. You're only supposed to have hair where it's aesthetically pleasing. And he just kept scanning me. Most men, a lot of men do this anyway, but not to the extent of like where they're trying to clock you. And what clock means in the queer, trans specifically terminology is like trying to see where the man is within you, basically, and trying to see any manly features, and like, yeah. And it's used in drag terminology as well, like trying to clock a drag queen if they look manly. And some people see trans women as drag queens, but again, different story. So yeah, I just felt like he was analysing me, and it just took a while for him to like be fully present and truly enjoy it, like from the get-go. Like, and then I would have to like talk to him and be like, this isn't normal behaviour, this isn't normal etiquette. You have to get past the fact that I was born a certain way. You're on a date with a girl that you find attractive, might not be born a girl, might not be your conventional girl, but I am still a girl. But yeah, so he eventually gets past that, but then I'm just a bit dumbfounded and taken aback by the analysing of me and all of that. So yeah, but we do get past that, but it still left a bad taste in my mouth of like, this is why I don't tell men, because it's like literally I know how people will react and how people will act, because they sometimes can't get past the fact and they're trying to, again, find the man. Yeah. So date goes well, blah 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 blah. Typical blokey bloke wants to go back home with me and get jiggy with me, and I don't like to kiss and tell. But yeah, successful date. So long story short, I don't do it all that often. I do it a handful of times, to telling people I'm trans before meeting up. It is the trans person's decision and choice as to when they disclose, you know? I'm a firm believer of not obviously keeping it when things are getting serious and it's like it's heading and you've discussed that you want to be in a relationship. Then like you should tell beforehand, before it gets to that stage. But if it's a couple dates here and there and you're figuring you're both, like, if you actually like each other, nobody deserves that information. People have to earn it, in my opinion. It doesn't make it gospel. No one way is the right way. So please stop making people feel like they're doing something wrong when it's not your truth to tell. It's not your life. So yeah, that's why I don't tell people, men mainly, beforehand. Because one, a lot of them are going to be a one-time thing, or like a couple dates kind of thing, or just a casual kind of thing, which is allowed. And sometimes they treat me, well, no, him mainly, but like sometimes that kind of behavior happens because it's just, they can't seem to get past it for a short while because when you're in love with Seana Momsen, you just are. Like, it clicks. It fits. Yeah. I think that about sums up this little story time, this social experiment that I've already done anyway. But I just wanted to be like candid, because I do preach often of not telling men that I'm transgender, and I say that to say I do, but in my own time. So yes, I hope you enjoyed today's video, learned a bit more about the trans experience, and not to be judgmental of something that you have no understanding of personally. A lot of my audience aren't trans themselves, or yeah, they aren't basically. So I hope this enlightens you and makes you be a bit more mindful and accepting and appreciative of people living their lives differently, living their lives for themselves and living their own truth. And yeah, it's hard to navigate being trans. Yeah, safety concerns, a lot of concerns, talking to strangers, like you gotta know the person. Yeah. But yeah, I thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna enjoy Friendsmas with my good friend, and I hope you have a lovely festive period, a happy new year, and I'll see you on the other side. Remember to like, comment, rate and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you want to see. Bye.